from where you at. I came here for vengeance, watch your back. No need to defend, I'm on attack. Sorry they can't reply, but I guarantee they had a blast. Pop, 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 I be on the next to only, yeah, I am fresh to death.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Long Haul Mentality. I am your host, as always, and this week I got Jarek Crew on, man. What's up, dude?
What it do, man? I appreciate you on your podcast, bro.
What's that?
I appreciate you for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming on, man. It's funny. I said we recorded the Classic Physique radio last week, the first episode, and I said on that podcast, like, that was the first time you and I had ever spoke. So I was like, you know what? I need to get this guy on the podcast and actually chat with him a little bit.
Yeah, man, we got to do it right.
Yeah, for sure.
That podcast was a hit too, man. First video went crazy.
Dude, yeah, I'm honestly like really kind of blown away at the response that we've gotten from it. So it's been really cool. And I gotta, before we get rolling and everything else, I gotta give a lot of credit to Terrence, you know, because he made a post, or he made a story about it. Like, man, I wish there was a Classic Physique podcast. And initially, like, what I told him was, like, I was going to just have him do a podcast like this and then introduce me to other guys, and I would just bring on more and keep talking with him and stuff. And he was like, why don't I just be a guest and be a host or a co-host, and I'll come on when I can and go from there. And I was like, fuck, that'd be awesome. And then he brought you on, he brought Logan on. So, like, I've just been the guy editing stuff. So it's been a really cool opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people realize how much work goes into, like, hosting a podcast.
Yeah.
And being consistent with that, you know, week after week after week.
Yeah.
Alongside of all the other things that you got going on, right? I'm not sure all what you do outside of podcasting, but, you know, as a bodybuilder, I mean, it's tough. It can be tough. I guess it's all perspective and, you know, what you're trying to, you know, get out of it, and, you know, where you want to focus all your energy into, right?
Right.
And it kind of makes sense, you know, Ruff and Logan being at the level that they are. You know, there's more required to maintain that. Whereas someone like me on the come up, right, I haven't been in their shoes just yet to see exactly how it feels, what's necessary, what's not, to really have any say in, hey, man, you can still do this, you know. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So it's really cool to see Ruff kind of go out his way and be a part of this podcast, Logan too, you know.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing that I kept asking myself was, like, why the fuck am I the one doing this? And I was like, well, because I was the one that was dumb enough to fucking say I would edit everything, you know, like. So it's like, it's an interesting thing, because it's like you and I are getting put with, like, all these like a lot of different people, especially, like, we're talking with Olympians and people who are, like, really in the public eye for their competitiveness. And it's like, I'm just a coach, and you're a pro and you're a coach and stuff too. But it's like, now we're dealing with a lot of different people, but the opportunity is honestly just cool to be able to share more information about one of the biggest divisions that we have in the IFBB. You know, I feel like it's just, like, as big as it is, it's not talked about enough. It's crazy.
Yeah. And you would think so too, right? Because, you know, you have the men's physique, you have bodybuilding, obviously. There probably are some bikini podcasts out right now, but we just don't know of, because we're not really,
right.
You know, that's not our interest. I'm sure there are plenty. But you don't see any Classic Physique podcast, like, just like strictly, you know, focus on that division.
Right.
And it's crazy to think about it, because from the conception of Classic Physique, right, which was in like 2016,
somewhere in that. Yeah.
And to see how far it's come in that short period of time versus all these other divisions, right? And it being highlighted at the Olympia, at the Arnold, you would think that is a podcast, you know, focused on this division, man. You would think, but hey, that's where, you know, opportunity meets preparation, right?
Exactly. We took it. We took advantage of it. So it's definitely a cool opportunity. But, you know, there are certainly people talking about Classic Physique, you know, but, like, they talk about the top 10 for the most part. Yeah. And the thing is like, I don't blame them for talking about the top 10, because you and I had this thing of, like, oh shit, I got to do a lot of research now, because there's so many classic people. There's so many competitors in every single show that we do. There's so many shows in the season. Like, there's so many people to keep up with it. Like, I don't blame people for not knowing anybody out of the top 10. Like, I'm bad about that, right? And I'm sure to a certain extent you're like, fuck, that guy's a really good classic competitor. I've never heard of him, you know?
Right.
But I'm excited to, like, bring more eyes to the whole division, not just the top 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that should be, the focus, right? Like being able to open up more eyes to even expand on the division and let people realize, like let people know, like, hey, there's a lot of great bodies and physiques out there in this division that go unnoticed, and people don't realize it until they actually like hit the big stage and like, oh
Yep.
shit, but this guy's been killing it for a while. He just, it's just timing. Like a perfect example is Justin Batterina. I mean, I've known him since I started competing. You know what I mean? Like, and people, and everybody now, everybody's talking about him, right? So it's just there's guys like that in the woodworks, man. That's really getting out the mud and really laying a foundation.
And it's I feel like it's also like I feel like a lot of people, because there are so many shows with Classic Physique, the way that they find out about new athletes is the ones who make it to the Olympia. But even then, it's like, especially the last couple of years, like we're going to try to pay attention to 50, 60, 70 competitors. It's like at some point, it's like, I can't watch this anymore, not because I don't like the competitors, but it's too much. It's too long. And that was one of the discussions that we had on the Classic Physique radio. But obviously, all that stuff aside, like we'll go more into Classic Physique stuff over on that channel. But I want to just chat more about like you. And obviously, I told you before, like I've known of you for a long time. I've seen you at shows and stuff like that, and I've heard a lot of good things about you as far as a coach and that sort of thing. We know a lot of the same people. So let me ask you a couple questions more about kind of how you got started with this. So are you live in California, right?
Yeah, I'm currently in Riverside, California.
Are you from California?
I'm originally from Florida.
Okay,
so,
what
part? Brandon, Florida, just outside of Tampa, Florida.
I'm actually from North Carolina. My parents live in Tampa.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, my in-laws are they're in North Carolina as we speak.
Nice.
My wife's side of the family, so I've been there a few times. It's chill. It's actually building up quite nice right now.
Certain parts of it are for sure.
Yeah.
But I was back there in August for my best friend's wedding, and it's just so funny because I was my girlfriend lives in Houston, and Houston's a big city, and like we drove near Raleigh, which is the big city that I was by, and it was like, oh yeah, there's the big city. It's like you can see from one side to the other like very easily. It's like a big city in North Carolina is a much different situation than it is out here in Texas, and I'm sure even in California. But when did you get started in bodybuilding? Like what was your kind of foray into all that?
So I'm gonna try not to like go on a tangent because when I get these questions, I tend to
do it, man. But that's what this is for. Go for it.
So, where can I start? So, I mean, just a little background. I've always been into sports. I've always been into some form of resistance training and activities, involving just endurance or strength training, conditioning. Right, played ball all through high school, middle school, and even elementary as well. When I say ball, I mean basketball. I didn't play football. Just thought it was very risky, I had no interest in football. Did a little bit of track as well. But fast forward, I still had that background of just strength training and conditioning when I graduated from high school, right, in 2011, where I moved to Jacksonville. And that's kind of where the journey began, man. 2011, Jacksonville was in UFIT, in those purple walls, man. Got everything you need in UFIT. For some reason, I mean, obviously it has a bad name now, but back then it was just another gym that
space with equipment.
Cheap, accessible, and then had what I needed. And so I met a guy in UFIT. He was like in his 50s, man. I never forget it, man. His name is Mac. And he kind of was like I want to say popular guy in the gym, but he was the only guy that I've seen in UFIT that was just like walking around ripped, jacked all the time. I'm like, bro, like what do you do? Like, there's no way you're just walking around like, with damn near no fat on your body at all. Like, you do something. And he was like, man, I bodybuild. I'm like, what is that? At this time, bro, I had no idea about the sport. No clue on what it was. What do you do? And he was like, "Yeah, man, it's a competition. I just got done with my competition, and I placed. I think he said I placed first in overall." I'm like, "Damn!" And I'm competitive. I have a competitive nature, and I'm looking at him. His physique wasn't bad at all, But I'm like, he's 50. Like, he's in his 50s and he's doing this. Like, he's killing it. I'm like, I definitely can kill it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, one thing led to another, bro. It kind of put me on game with the sport. Then I did start doing my own research. And I believe, I think it was either later that year or the following year. I know it was around my birthday. I did my first show, August 16th, my birthday. I believe it was Dexter Jackson Classic.
Okay. Cool. Going to take a quick break from the podcast to bring a few things to your attention. First off, as I was going through the YouTube analytics, I noticed that almost 70% of my watchers are not subscribed. So if you're watching this right now, please do me a favor and click that subscribe button. Every single time I get a new subscriber, comments, likes, and shares, this helps spread the podcast more, and I really, really appreciate you guys. This podcast has no paid sponsorships, so the best way for you to support my channel is to support my sponsors. So Labrada Pro Series is my supplement sponsor. We have a full line of products with some new ones coming. The pre-workout is on the way right now, and the new Labrada Nutrition RTD pre-workout is about to hit the market as well. On top of Labrada Pro Series, I also have Gasp and Better Bodies, and then I also have Authentic Aminos. Please go support these companies. Use my code Bagley10 for Labrada Pro Series, Bagley15 for Gasp and Better Bodies, and Bagley for Authentic Aminos. Thanks, guys. Let's get back to the podcast.
So I prepared for that. It took me, I think it was a 6-week prep, 6 to 8 week prep, and placed first in overall, bro. And from that point on, bro, I was hooked.
See, we had a very similar story up until you said that it only took you 6 to 8 weeks and then you won an overall.
Well, see, the background, like, I was already like athletic, you know what I'm saying? Like, I already had abs, and I was like, and I did men's physique. It wasn't even classic.
Yeah,
because the classic didn't come out yet.
I was the opposite. I was not athletic. Don't throw shit at me. It will hit me in the face. Don't ask me to run. Don't ask me to jump. Like,
yeah. No, I feel you, man. And I think now everything's kind of like coming back to me. It was actually around 2000 because I moved to Jacksonville in 2011, and then I kind of met him and spurred that kind of chapter in my life around like 2015. And because I remember there was a year before Classic began. Classic Physique division created. And I remember my coach was telling me at the time, she was like, I think you should do Classic. Because, I mean, I had legs. I played ball. You know, that's what we're known for. Like, you have to have legs, some sort of legs when you're playing basketball, right?
Right.
And I was like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that in front of people. Like, you know, I knew that they had to do routines and stuff. And I was like, nah, I'll stick to men's physique for at least another year and see what's up, you know? And lo and behold, like, I eventually just kind of moved forward a little bit. Eventually, my third show, just gave Classic a try. And I remember placing overall, I won the whole show in men's physique, but I placed second in class physique. But that particular show, I hung up my men's physique trunks, even though I won the whole show. I was like, yo, Classic is where it's at.
And how long from then to Pro Card was it?
So I had no idea. Like, when I tell you, bro, Nick, I had no knowledge on the sport. You know, I was competing. Like, I was just kind of doing what my coach was telling me to do. Eat this, do this cardio. And, you know, we're going to do this show. I didn't even pick out my show. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had no idea. I just wanted to do something that was competitive. I wanted to kind of extend that side of me through schooling. Because, I mean, I really had no other passion, or at the time I had no other, like, I feel like I had no other purpose, right? So it was just something I wanted to do and see if I loved it. And so, like, I didn't know about nationals or getting your pro card. I could have went from my first show and got my pro card. At that time, men's physique is totally different back then, bro.
Right.
And I would say I was a top guy. The way I looked back then, if I went and went for my pro card,
would have done well for that.
I put that on hold just from not having the knowledge about it, and I just wanted to compete and have fun. And I didn't try for my pro card until 2018. So I did about
first Classic was 2016. You went to nationals in 2018.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you get it then? Did you get your pro card on your first try at nationals?
Yeah, man. It was cool, bro.
Our bodybuilding journeys could not be the more opposite. I was I was not a good bodybuilder, man. Like stage wise, like I mean, my last show was decent, but I never won a show in my entire fucking competing career. So I'm gonna put it to you this way, Jarek. I'm a lot better coach than I was competitor. That's for fucking sure.
Hey, look, man. You know what? I can respect that because there's a lot of guys in this shit that's delusional as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you know because you're a coach.
Right. And
they come across that table every now and then. You're like,
right. And the thing is, and you and I talked about this like very minimally, like with the Classic Physique Radio talking about being dads. And like, you know how it is. It's a lot to be a parent and try to bodybuild, try to coach at the same time, try to like live life and that sort of thing. And like, I had never had any validation to winning a show. So it was like at a certain point, it just got to a spot where it was like, how many more years am I to fucking do this? Yeah. And look, I'm 6'1". I'm pretty fucking tall, and I don't have like great structure. I got to my heaviest at 265 pounds, and that was still small. And like, that was not easy for me to do. Like, I don't have a big appetite. I'm not a big eater. So like getting that big was really fucking hard. And I still needed to be another 15 pounds heavier. Like it just, the realisticness of it just kind of came and went very, very quickly. And I'm a very rational person, you know? So I started getting more athletes who were way better at this than me and seeing them do really well. And I was like, look, I just need to pull back from this and put more into being a dad and being a coach, you know, versus like worrying about what the fuck I'm going to do on stage, you know?
Man. And it takes a lot of, I guess, courage too, you know, because some people are fighting with the opinions of others, right? And what they think about you and your trajectory. And ultimately, it's like, it's your journey, bro. Like you own that shit, nobody else, you know? So if you feel like this chapter needs to close in order for you to grow in other areas, like there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And I had to learn that too as a coach. I don't mean to cut you off. I had to learn that too as a coach.
Good.
Because there were guys that were on board and they'll fall off and they wouldn't give their self a chance to really see it through. But I have to realize, like, man, like this is a very demanding sport.
Yep.
And you think about it, doesn't really make sense. Only if you are in it and you're passionate about it and it's fulfilling to you. That's the only way it makes sense.
100%.
Outside of that, it makes absolutely no sense at all.
Yep.
So it's like, I can't really be mad and angry because someone doesn't want to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. And, you know, you being a coach for as long as you have, I'm sure you get messages every couple of months of somebody who's going, well, hey, man, I just don't know if I want to do this anymore. And it's like, I'll always talk to people and like make sure that they are very clear with this stuff, but I never try to fight them. It's like, look, if this isn't for you, don't force yourself to do it because you will fucking hate it.
For sure.
One of the things that's been really interesting to kind of come to terms with is like, look, I'm 32 years old. I started competing in 2012 and I was lifting and stuff prior to that. So like most of my adult life has been formed around me being a bodybuilder. Right. So for like about a year where I was no longer competing and didn't really care about my physique, I kind of just like let things go. Not fully. I'd still train. I was still eating, but it wasn't like to the detail that it was before. But I started this cut 6 weeks ago, and like I've been saying it in the vlogs that I've been doing is like, it feels so fucking good to be a bodybuilder again. Like I'm nowhere near as big as I used to be. I'm nowhere near as strong as I used to be. I'm not as shredded as I used to be, but I am doing the thing every single fucking day. And like, I feel like myself again. And it feels so fucking good to find that again. And it's like, I think the hardest part for people when they get to that point in their life where they have to transition away from something that was so all encompassing, because if you are going to compete, it has to be, right? Especially if you want to compete and grow to another level, it has to be all encompassing. The hard part about it is finding how to do it without the competitive portion of it now. You know what I'm saying? Finding how to still do those same things day in and day out when there's no immediacy of a goal coming up. That's really fucking hard. And I had a really hard time figuring that out until recently, you know?
Hey, man, when you put it in that perspective, man, god damn, that's hard as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, because like, especially if you're coming from a competitive background and you're always someone who likes to chase goals, right? And just want to see how far you can take things to the extreme and then to try to be in this space that is driven by that is so hard, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think the way you're doing it is building something so much greater.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
go ahead.
Bodybuilding is one of the best things you could do for your health.
Yeah.
Competitive bodybuilding is not. Like that's the thing. It's like I'm going to make those two statements. Like the bodybuilding lifestyle is incredibly beneficial to a human, right? But you tack on competitive bodybuilding with that, we're now talking about something completely different. So it's like learning how I can still go and get as shredded as I want to. I can still go in and put on as much size as I want to, but I don't have to add this competitive thing to it where now it's like I'm having to put my health on the line because I want to be competitive. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like, I just want to be I just want to be the dad that my kid comes back and goes, my dad could kick your dad's ass. And then they see me and they're like, oh yeah, he could. Like,
that's so funny. Cause I think I made a story not too long ago and I was walking to pick my daughter up and like, every time I walk up to her school, you know, there's a whole bunch of kids outside, you know, the teachers and everything and moms and dads. You know, they're just like, who the hell is this guy? It's like, I'm just coming out of training, got my tank top on, you know what I'm saying? Like, still got a little pump. You know?
Like, what?
But it feels good because I know my daughter is going to be safe,
you
know, because they know that's Nail's dad. That's Nail's dad. All the kids are saying, oh, that's Nail's dad, you know, so they know me.
Yep.
And, you know, it feels good. You know, there are some benefits to bodybuilding outside of just like stepping on stage.
100%. I think a lot of us get into bodybuilding because it is different, right? Yeah. Because it is the thing that differentiates you. Like these days, it's become a lot more popular. Like it sounds like you're about the same age I am. And are you 32?
33.
33. Yeah. So we're basically the same age. So we both kind of grew up and started this before social media really like took its claws and got it into this thing where now everybody wants to be a bodybuilder. Like everybody wants to be in shape. Everybody wants to get on stage. Everybody wants to be an influencer, that kind of stuff. But you and I started doing this before all of that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And now I just completely lost where I was going with that. But now I remember where I was going with it. Like now it's not really different anymore. Like everybody's doing this, at least in our world. You know what I'm saying? So like when you do step out into that realm of like going to your kid's school or stepping out into the world where it's like you're around normal people, you start to realize just how much different you really are, you know? And I don't know about you, but I hang my hat on that. Like if I can go into like a normal environment and people are like, oh my God, look at what that guy looks like. It's like, all right, cool. That I'm doing something right. I don't need to be fucking 280 pounds to get that response. You have a little bit of muscle and you're pretty lean. Like people fucking freak out a little bit about it.
Like 100%. I mean, now that you say that, man, there's like, I feel like it's all the time. Now that I'm really like actually like paying attention to it, it's like, I feel like anytime I leave the house,
yep,
I know I'm being in a situation where it's like I just look like an outsider.
Yep.
You know, or at least that's the way it looks from the outside looking in, right? Mm-hmm. I'm completely comfortable in my own skin, and I'm completely comfortable in a social setting. I'm not saying I have anxiety or I don't want to be around people or I'm just like fear of people looking at me. But from the outside looking in, you know, and I'm looking around and I'm looking at everybody, it's like, damn, like I don't see anybody who built like me in here in this grocery store. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anybody in this bank that looks like me at all. Like, what is really going on? So it does put things in perspective. Like we're doing, like anybody in that shape or looks like that is really doing something outside of the norm.
Yes.
100%. You know what I mean?
100%.
I think people don't realize the mental toughness that you have to have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To get to 100%. That level.
Yeah. But I told you my buddy's wedding was in August, and I think in it's either June or July, we had his bachelor party, and we went to the mountains of North Carolina and went to a casino and like stayed at the casino resort, right? And that was the biggest eye opener to me because it's the first time I've been around a lot of normal humans, right, who are at a casino to gamble and eat whatever food they want and all that kind of stuff. And like, this is before I started cutting, so I hadn't really been like, kind of been getting my nutrition back in line and that sort of thing, like preparing to get myself ready for this. But like, I wasn't in super good shape or anything like that. But like the looks and the comments from some of my homies' friends that I just met that weekend, it was like, oh yeah, I'm doing pretty fucking good here. So it's like I have a number of lifestyle clients who are like CEOs of companies, right? And they'll come to me because they want to get in better shape, right? And one of the things that I told to one of my like really good CEO clients is like, look, man, you have already proven to all of your employees that you know what to do when it comes to running a company and making money. Why not show them that you're going the extra fucking mile and taking care of your health, taking care of your brain, taking care of all these other aspects of your life, and not just like kicking ass in one spot? Like, let me show you what it means to really fucking kick ass. Let me show you how to make a lot of money and have a great body and love what you look like. And that's a powerful fucking place to be in, regardless of whether you want to get on stage or not.
That's a dangerous place to be in.
Very.
Because you're already looked at as someone who's disciplined and driven and a hard worker just by the way you look, right?
Yep.
And to be able to be not only financially killing it, but also health-wise and physically, that's a dangerous combination, you know?
Yep. And I think it's one that people need. It's one people need.
Yeah, bro. I think people need more people like that to look up to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it says a lot without saying much. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, you're impacting your employees. You're showing them that, like, yeah, money's important and we need to make money and we want to make this business extremely successful, but like, let's not neglect everything else. And I think that's what just most people end up doing. Like, most people you encounter at like the grocery store or with their kids or whatever, like the school, like, they're probably a very, very good parent. They're probably very, very good at their job. They're probably like really good in certain aspects of things, but they've overly invested in that one area and then allowed other things to slack without realizing that all of these things can help benefit each other. They can all bring it up. If you're physically and mentally tougher and stronger and healthier, everything else will be better, 10,000 times better.
Man, I think Dom Kuzma would agree with you 100% on that quote.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's what he preaches
all
the time.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, and it's like, you know, you got to show your kids also, like your dad, right? Or parents. And my daughter's seeing me on a consistent basis, doing my cardio, going to the gym, you know, and having a routine and taking care of my body. That shows a lot without me saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to carry with her throughout her years as she gets older. And that's something that's going to be instilled in her brain, and seeing that, oh, my dad had a routine, right?
Yes.
My dad took care of his health. I think it's extremely important, man. And I'm not going to get into the whole debate about obesity and all that stuff. I'm just leave it at that.
Right.
You know
I think it's such a beautiful thing to invest into a kid, because the reality of the world that we live in right now is things are really fucking easy and they're only getting easier, right? Like with the way AI is going and the over reliance on those types of things, like we're going to be in a spot where like we're going to end up in the Wall-E situation where we're all floating around in fucking basically wheelchairs, just having food shoved straight in our face. And we're all 300 fucking pounds and like don't have any muscle and all that kind of stuff, because our world is going that direction of like ease and comfort. And the unfortunate reality is if you are brought up in that environment, you are setting yourself up to get smacked in the fucking mouth at some point. Like, sorry, it's just the reality, because you don't know how to work hard at anything. So teaching that in a kid early, I think is great.
Yeah, man. Damn, you hit on the head with the whole AI situation. I think it's one of those things that's coming around right now that is going to either make or break you. You either get with it or get lost, you know, and there isn't going to be any in between. at all. And I think just setting that example and having a routine is so powerful, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had to talk about routine with my athletes a while back, and routine is big, man. Routine is big. I think that if you think about all the high level athletes or even high level professions, right? And all those guys or girls in those professions, and look at their daily schedule, like I guarantee you they all have routine.
Yep.
There's a reason why, man. It just allows for more time in the day. It allows for productivity, mental clarity. Hey, look, we can talk about anxiety, depression, mental illness. All that can stem from lack of organization, no routine, lack of expectations.
Right.
Routine is big.
Yeah, and I don't know how people like I don't have the most rigid routine in the world, right? But I have a calendar, I have all these things. I know when I have to do certain very important tasks. And people who are just kind of flying by the seat of their pants, it's like no wonder you're scrambled all the time and feel like you're always behind. It's because you don't have anything, you don't have a system in place, and
Right.
like people believe that like a routine is something that's going to take more time when the reality is that it is helping you create more time.
More time.
Yeah, it's helping you to understand what's important and what's not. And then it helps you structure, like if you are wanting to be a bodybuilder, if I know that I have to be at work from this time to this time, I have to be at this place at this time, I have to do this at this time, work at this time. Cool. Now I know when I need to put my meals in. I know what I need to move things around and how to make this flow with my calendar, with my schedule, so that I can be on track as best as possible. So like to just fly by the seat of your pants, what I always tell people is like, we need to learn how to be proactive and not reactive. And most people are living a reactive lifestyle where they're like, well, I know what my day is going to go. I know what my day usually does. And then all of a sudden they get completely derailed and they're wondering like, oh, well, why am I not sticking to my goals? It's like, because you haven't prioritized them. You haven't put them into a schedule.
Yep. What did Steve Jobs say? It was a quote. He was like, he talked to like one of his CEOs or whatever top guy that's working for him. He was like, hey, man, we need to follow the signal. Like, follow the signal. And I had a conversation with my guy. He used to work for my company. And we were just talking about that and making sure you just follow the signal. Like the signal being what is driving you forward to that intended goal, right? And anything that is not the signal, it's a waste of time, right? Obviously, outside of like family and quality time and
Right.
being present. But if you catch yourself scrolling on social media for 2 hours, man, like you lose the signal, my boy.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That's 2 hours you're not getting back. But
yep. So,
yeah.
like I told you earlier, I have to cut it a little bit shorter today. So before we end up doing that, I want to talk to you a little bit more about your competing and stuff. So what are your plans right now, competition wise? What does that look like for you?
Oh man, it's up in the air really right now, man. I know right now I'm getting ready for a guest posing in December at the Mid American Winter Classic.
Cool. Nice.
My good friend is promoting a show, and he puts on a great show. Matt, a guy over there, in Illinois. So it's going to be cool. I'm working on that right now. We're in a push phase right now. We're about, let me make sure I have that timeline right for you. Let's see.
I saw your pictures earlier today. You look fucking great, man, for a push.
Appreciate it, man. So we started our push phase August 20th. So
okay.
This is what, about a month, maybe?
Yeah.
4 weeks?
Something like that.
So 4 weeks in this push phase. This is the first push phase I've had in about 2-3 years, man.
Really?
Been battling some gut issues, putting on hold, being stubborn about it and competing with it, and eventually got worse. And I had no choice but to get it fixed. So been working with Austin Stout on that. We got a good control of that. And 4 weeks ago, obviously. And it's been going good so far, man. But I'm definitely looking to jump in the fire next year, hopefully, especially with the new qualification setup now, right?
Yeah.
So obviously it's gonna be more than one show if we do that. and just being able to step back on stage healthier.
Yep.
With better gut health, you know.
Yeah, I mean, based on the pictures you posted earlier, it seems like you've definitely fixed your stomach problem.
Yeah, man, 253
waist is
pounds looks really good, man.
Yes, it does for sure, man. I'm excited to see what you do there. It's also interesting that you bring up the qualification changes, because it's going to be such an interesting thing to see how people now start to navigate having to do multiple shows. Right? It's like, there's 5 shows that you can win and qualify for, and then everything else you got to do 2. So, like, do you know Jason Brown, JB Swolstein?
Yeah. Actually, I competed with him in September last year.
Nice. So he's a client of mine now. So we're
really?
So we're aiming for something next year. And as soon as those qualifications came out, I sent it to him. I was like, "Hey, we got to talk." So it's going to be very interesting to see how everybody navigates that.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy how life works. Like, my pro debut at Chicago Pro, actually competed with JB on pro debut. That show I played second against Lord Jones. Never forget that day, man. It was in Atlanta, but it was Chicago Pro, but it was in Atlanta because of COVID.
Right.
And then I competed with him again in September. And it's cool. It's always cool to see him, man. He's a cool dude. He's a
really cool dude. Yeah. Just trying to get his head on straight so we can get this whole thing fucking rolling. So JB, if you're listening.
Yeah, because doesn't he like work like a crazy job, right?
Yeah, dude, he travels a lot. He's all over the place. So he gets contracted out to different sites, and he has to go live in different places and stuff like that. So definitely getting him like completely locked in. You know how it is. It's like if you try to uproot yourself and go somewhere for a month trying to get a new schedule and into your system and in a routine gets to be difficult because you're trying to figure out where everything is and stuff. So he's been doing a good job. He's getting there, but hopefully 2026 we'll be able to put him on stage.
Okay, that'd be cool, man. Maybe who knows? We may battle it out again.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll end up running into you at some point.
Yeah, and we got to go for the because right now it's a draw. He's 1-1. So
all right,
being my first time, he beat me second time. So we gotta break that tie, man.
Well, now you've given me more fuel to edge him on a little bit. So that'll be in his next check-in for sure. Hey, Jarek,
JB, man, come on, man, let's go.
No, I love it, dude. That's great. But dude, I hate that I have to wrap it up, but do you have any plans for like a pro show next year, or you haven't like
really so like yet? What I want to do, man, what I really want to do is Tampa Pro, not because of the show and how it's ran or the promoter or anything like that. I just want to do it because that's my hometown.
Right.
I haven't done Tampa Pro at all, and that's where I'm from, so I want to be able to do that. So my family can come out, support me, see me on stage live for once, so that'd be cool. And then, there are really good shows that I have my eyes on because of production value and how they take care of the athletes. I know Detroit is one.
Yep.
Pittsburgh was nice. Texas Pro, that was nice. I believe it's Texas Pro or Texas State. Whatever one that Mateus won. I think that's Texas Pro.
I'm not my brain. I'd have to look back at it again, but Texas Pro was the one that was just a couple months ago.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it was. That was right after Tampa, right? Yeah, what's that?
That was right after Tampa, right?
Yes, yeah. Tampa's the week before Texas.
Yep.
And that one's in the backyard here, but I was out of town that weekend, so. Yeah, that's the guys who put on Texas Pro do a very, very good job. That the show, the picture back there was actually from Texas Pro, but I did the amateur that was attached to it. So,
okay, dope, man.
You run that show great. What's that?
I said you look good in that photo, man.
I've got a couple shots. I had a most muscular and a side chest. That's about all I had, man.
But yeah, man, I want to do. I mean, if everything works out, Tampa, Texas, that's a nice little.
Yeah.
Little run right there, 1 week apart, and then whatever else after that, if it works out,
awesome,
can have fun. Be back up there.
I'll be really excited to kind of see what that looks like for you. And then, how long have you been coaching?
Man, I've been coaching since 2016, since I started competing.
Okay.
I would say officially putting an athlete on stage was 2018.
Okay. And
So
then
I
just
was 2
kind of off
years
the
in.
races.
Yeah. 2 years in, actually doing some lifestyle, and kind of learning a bit more about it before actually putting someone on stage. And 2018 was kind of like the official start. Yeah.
Awesome. That's really cool,
Yeah,
man. I'm excited to see what you do next year, and I'm sure I'll see you out at a number of shows, either you competing or someone competing. Will you be out here for nationals this year?
Yeah, man. I actually got hopefully 3 athletes competing in nationals
Nice.
this year. If they make
Nice.
it out that far, I have a figure girl, wellness girl. I actually got 2 classic guys, so 4.
Oh yeah.
So far on the top of my head.
Cool. So
Um,
I'll see you there for sure, because I've got this 19-year-old kid that's gonna be a fucking mutant in the super heavies. So he's
sheesh.
I post. You'll have to go look at my stories in a bit. He's 19. He's 260 pounds. The kid is fucking insane, just absolutely insane. So he's doing Battle of Texas is the week before nationals, and it's run by the same people that do nationals. So if you win the overall at Battle of Texas, they pay for you to go to nationals. So I've already told him, is like, I don't see anybody beating you for the overall. We're going to nationals. So
That's crazy.
kid's a fucking mutant,
19?
man.
That's
Yeah,
insane,
dude.
bro.
It's
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah, I mean the response. I've had a number of like really freaky athletes at this point, and I think he might take the cake as far as like one of the best genetic anomalies that I've worked with. Like he's only been with me since 18 weeks out from the show, so it's like 6-7 weeks. I've added food almost every week, and his body just keeps getting tighter and keeps getting better. It's fucking insane.
That's the best spot to be in, man.
It's quite wild to watch, if I'm
You
being
know?
completely honest.
That's the fun part of coaching, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yep, I agree. I've got a couple of those guys on the team, and a couple of them are supposed to be doing national shows next year. So I'm like itching to fucking put you like. I think you might know Blake, right? Blake Young.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Blake's going to do something next year. I think we're looking at Universe or something like that, and then Chase was supposed to my guy Chase Peterson, the heavyweight that I have. He tore his bicep 2 weeks out from nationals last year, and yeah, that one I still every time I say it still hurts my heart just a little, you know.
That stings, bro.
Yeah, but he and I have talked about it. Like, yeah, it sucked at the time, but I think I think he could have gone pro at nationals. I think he could have gotten second, and I've told him that, and we've had that conversation. So the way we look at it now is just like, was it an unfortunate way for us to figure this out? Yes, but like, it gives us the opportunity to put on enough tissue for him to be able to go in and take the first place pro card and push for the overall too. So, a bad thing to get a good response. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it wasn't that bad to where he's still able to, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
good.
the guy doesn't have a lack of biceps or shoulders. So like he tore it and like you can't even fucking tell that he lost anything. It's ridiculous.
That's good, man.
But so we'll start to wrap it up here, man, because I got to go get my dog from daycare. But where can everybody find you? If they want to find out about you as a coach, where can they find some more information?
So it's gonna be Jarek_Crew. That'll be for Facebook, Instagram, for the most part. Those are the main social media handles that I utilize for coaching.
And I assume you have like an application in your bio, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's link in the bio.
Yeah, like all of us.
Straight to that, you know what I mean? Get basic information from you, and we set up a call, and we go from there. See if you're a good fit. You know what I mean?
For anyone who doesn't know Jarek, Jarek's reputation preceded him, and I had known about Jarek for a while prior to us actually meeting. And a lot of people that I consider to be very, very influential and smart people have said a lot of good things about him. So if you are in the market for a coach, Jarek is a great option. So thank you for everyone who is still watching, and do the YouTube thing, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.